Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Learn Quran with Inam, and this is your teacher Muhammad Inam. Today we are going to learn lesson number 11 of Madani qaida in English, inshallah. And before reading this lesson, I will teach you few rules of this lesson, and after learning these rules, I will teach you lesson number 11, inshallah. So let's read rules of lesson number 11. Question number 1: What is jazm? Already I have taught you in lesson number 7, like what is jazm, what is sakin, and how to pronounce. And now I gonna tell you again what is jazm. Jazm mean a small dal type shape is called jazm. Okay, you can make answer. Small dal type shape is called jazm. Next question: what is sakin? A letter which has a jazm on, it's called sakin. If you see any letter has jazm on it, so that's mean you can say this letter is sakin, silent letter. Next question: how sakin letter is pronounced? So sakin letter is read with the mutaharrik letter coming before it. Next question: how hamza sakina is pronounced? So hamza sakina is pronounced with jerk. Hamza sakina mean when alif will have jazm on it or when hamza will have jazm on it, that's both letters will be called hamza sakina, and hamza sakina will be read with jerk. Next question: how many kalkala letters and what are they? Kalkala letters are 5: qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal. Next question: what is combination of the kalkala letters? Combination of kalkala letter is kutubu, jaddin. Next question is what's mean of kalkala? Like what is kalkala? What's the meaning of kalkala? Kalkala mean echo sound, movement. Okay, I will tell you practically in lesson number 11 how to read kalkala letters with kalkala. Okay, so next question: how kalkala letters will be pronounced? So when the letters of kalkala are sakina, kalkala should be more clear. So I will tell you properly in lesson 11 how to pronounce kalkala letters with kalkala sound. So let's start this lesson, and I will teach you few words with spelling and few words without spelling. This way, inshallah, we will read lesson number 11 in three parts. So there is line 1. I will teach you, and after that I will give you 1 to 2 seconds for revising, for repeating. So you will have to repeat after me, okay? So let's read. Let's start this lesson. Hamza ta zabar at. Now I'm giving you time, so you have to repeat this word in this time. Hamza ta zer it. Hamza ta pesh ut. We have read one time this letter with spelling. Now we are going to read this letter without spell. At, it, ut. So next letter is ta. Ta is kalkala letter as well as musta'aliya letter. So we will have to read this letter with kalkala as well as with thicker voice. So let's read it. Hamza ta zabar ato. I'm making two sounds. Ato, to. Second sound is called kalkala. Okay, ato, echo type sound. You can say to like this sound is like echo sound. So this type sound is called kalkala sound. Okay, remember that. Hamza to zer ito. Hamza to pesh uto. Now we're gonna read this letter without spell. Ato, ito, uto. You have to read separately, one by one. You can't read ato, ito, uto. That is okay, but not good way. If you want to read properly, if you want to read without mistake, then you should read separately. You should make distance between these letters. Ato, ito, uto instead of ato, ito, uto. Understood? So let's read next letter. This letter is za, This one is dal. These are Kribu South letters, so you will have to make clear difference between these letters. Okay, so this letter will be read with whistle sound, with hard sound. Dal will be read without whistle sound and with soft sound. Let's read it and revise after me. Hamza za zabar az. Hamza za there is. Hamza za pesh uz. Az is uz. Next letter is dal, and don't make echo sound while reading dal letter. Hamza dal zabar ad. Hamza dal there is. Hamza dal pesh uz. Ad is uz. Next letter is Law. Law is Musta'aliya letter, and we have to read this letter with soft voice as well as thicker voice. So let's read it and revise after me. Hamza Law Zabar al. Hamza Law Zir il. Hamza Law Pesh ul. Al il ul. Next letter is Tha, and Tha is not Safiya letter. You have learnt in lesson number 1 there are 3 letters, and they are called Safiya letters, and you have to pronounce with whistle sound. But Tha is not Safiya letter. Even then, some people pronounce this letter with whistle sound, so that is not correct. Okay, so remember this thing. Tha will be read without whistle sound. So let's read it. Hamza Tha Zabar Ath. If you touch front side of your tongue with upper teeth, then you can read this letter without whistle sound. Okay, repeat again. Hamza Tha Zabar Ath. Hamza Tha Zer Ith. Hamza Tha Pesh Uth. Without spell. Ath Ith Uth. Okay, so next letter is Sin and Sod. Sin is Safiya letter and Sod is also Safiya as well as Musta'aliya. Okay, so Sin will be read with whistle sound and with thin voice. Hamza Sin Zabar As. Hamza Sin there is. Hamza Sin Pesh Us. As is Us. Sod is Safiya as well as Musta'aliya, so we have to read with whistle sound as well as with thicker voice. Let's read it. Hamza Sod Zabar Aus. Hamza Sod there is. Hamza Sod Pesh Us. Aus is Us. So next letter is Dal. Dal is Kalkala letter, and we have to read this letter with echo sound, like with double sound. How? Let's read it. Hamza Dal Zabar Ade. Hamza Dal Zer Ide. Hamza Dal Pesh Ude. Ade Ide Ude. Next letter is Dod. Dod is Musta'aliya, and we have to make echo sound end of this letter. Hamza Dod Zabar Ad. Hamza Dod Zer Id. Hamza Dod Pesh Ud. Without spell. Ad Id Ud. Remember one thing, you can't read this letter ado, ido, udo. Okay, otherwise you won't be able to make difference between dal and dod. So dod is not kalkala letter. You have to make echo sound like kalkala sound end of dod. Okay, but you can't read dod letter with kalkala sound. Remember this thing. Next letter is kaf. Kaf is thin letter. This kaf is thin kaf. This kaf is thick kaf. So you have to read this kaf with thin voice. This cough with thicker voice as well as with kalkala sound. Let's read it. Hamzah kaf zabar ak. Hamzah kaf zer ik. Hamzah kaf pesh ok. Ak ik ok. Next letter is cough kalkala as well as musta'aliya. So with thicker voice as well as with echo sound. Let's read it. Hamzah qaf zabar ako. Hamzah qaf zer iko. Hamzah qaf pesh uko. Ako iko uko. So next letter is ha. This letter is ha. So what difference between these letters? This ha is pronounced from bottom part of your throat like with deeper sound. Ha, like this sound. So this letter is pronounced from middle part of your throat with high sound like ha, ha. This one is ha. This one is ha. Okay. So you have to make difference between these letters. Hamza ha zabar ah. Hamza ha zer ih. Hamza ha pesh uh. Ah ih uh. Next letter is ha and we have to read Hamza ha zabar ah. Hamza ha zer ih. Hamza ha pesh uh. Ah ih uh. So next letter is Hamza and first Hamza is mutaharrik. When alif will have any sign on it, then you have to read Hamza. So that's why this alif is Hamza, because it has harkat on it, and this Hamza is original Hamza, but this Hamza has jazam on it. And I taught you in rules of lesson 11, when Hamza will have jazam on it, then you have to read Hamza with jerk. Okay, so how to read this Hamza with jerk? Repeat after me. Hamza Hamza zabar a. Hamza Hamza zer I. Hamza Hamza pesh o. A I o. You have to stop your voice suddenly, then jerk will be made and you can read this letter easily. Next letter is Ain. You have to pronounce it softly. Hamza Ain zabar ar. Hamza Ain zer ir. Hamza Ain pesh ur. Ar ir ur. So next letter is Kha. Kha is musta'aliya and Ghain is also musta'aliya. These letters are they have similar sound. If you don't read these letters with clear sound, then you won't be able to recognize which letter you are reading. Okay, if you want to read these letters with correct way, with correct pronunciation, then make difference between these letters clearly. Okay, so we have to read it. Hamza kha zabar akh. Hamza kha zer ikh. Hamza kha pesh ukh. Akh ikh ukh. Then ghain. Hamza ghain zabar agh. Hamza ghain zer igh. Hamza ghain pesh ugh. Agh igh ugh. Next letter is ba and ba is kalkala. We have to read it with echo sound. Hamza ba zabar ab. Hamza ba zer ib. Hamza ba pesh ub. ab, ib, ub. Then mim, hamzah, mim, zabar am, hamzah, mim, zir im, hamzah, mim, pesh am, im, Remember one more thing, while pronouncing meme, don't take sound into your nose. Like don't read it meme. Meme is wrong. Okay, you have to read meme without taking sound to your nose. Let's read next lines. Hamza wow zabar aw, and there is not used before waw sakina. That's why there is not here before waw sakina. Next letter hamzah waw pesh u, aw u. uh this there is zabar before this waw sakina. That's why this waw is lean. That's why this waw was not stretched, and this waw has pesh before this. Like this waw is sakina and there is pesh before this waw sakina. That's why this waw is madda and we had to stretch it. So next letter fa, and we can read it easily without spell. We will read few letters without spell. F, if, of, al, il, ul. Some people take sound into their nose, like they read it hamza lam, lam. So remember this thing, don't take sound into your nose while pronouncing lam letter. Okay, and some people take sound into their nose while pronouncing noon, so avoid it. That is wrong. You have to read this letter without taking sound into your nose. You have to read noon instead of noon. Noon is wrong, noon is correct. Okay, an, in, un. Next letter is ra, hamza ra zabar ar, hamza ra zir ir, hamza ra pesh ur, ar, ir, ur. Next letter is jim, and jim is kalkala. We have to read it with echo sound. Hamza jim zabar aje, hamzah jim zir ije, hamzah jim pesh uje, aje ije uje. Next letter without spell. Ash, ish, ush. Next letter is ya, hamzah ya zabar ay, hamzah ya zir i, I, e. Pesh is not used before ya sakina. That's why this box is empty. And this ya sakina has zabar before it. That's why this ya is lean and we couldn't stretch it. And this ya sakina has zir before it. That's why we had to stretch equal to 1 second. Okay, so we have learned today lesson. Tomorrow inshallah we will read next lesson inshallah. And if you like this video, then share with your family, friends and relatives, as well as subscribe this channel. Tomorrow we will come again in next class. So remember me in your prayers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.